Welcome back to Main Street Living. So, for all of our sports fans, this next interview might get you excited for a possible NFL season coming up. Joining us right now, we have Molly McManimie, NFL player agent and VP of Client Services for Carrick Sports based out of Las Vegas. Molly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, Molly, tell me, how has work changed for you as an agent? Are you working from home?
I am. It's nice. Our job can be done virtually anywhere. So we've been able to do everything we normally do. We're very fortunate in that regard. As a company, we had a really good off season. We had a great free agency, which we were thankful that the NFL let that go forward as normal. And then the draft went really well for us. So it's been weird being at home all the time and not in the office, but we've been fortunate that everything we normally do, we can still do.
Very exciting. And obviously, the NFL, compared to some of the other leagues, seems like they've been moving forward, assuming there's going to be a season and that things are going to go as planned. How has the COVID sort of affected the NFL season so far? I mean, it sounds like the draft kind of went pretty much as normal.
It did, yeah. For us, we're normally back here. I'm based in Vegas, and we're normally back here anyway, unless you have a client invited to the first round. So that was pretty normal for us, and I think they did a really good job keeping things feeling pretty normal from home for fans, for the players. We had a conference call with all the agents on Monday and the Players Association talking about the protocols they're putting into place and kind of the plan moving forward. They do seem like the league that's been the most, we're going to do this one way or another, but that's kind of the well as it is. So for now, they're just trying to really figure out the safest way. They didn't say, fans or no fans yet, but they were just explaining to us testing protocol and kind of their hope for how they'll safely get guys back in at the end of July.
Are they thinking that they're going to be able to have an audience, have a crowd at these games?
They didn't really tell us. Knowing the NFL, I think they will do whatever they can to make that happen. I think that it might be at a lower capacity, but just seeing some of the things they're talking about with the new stadiums here in Vegas and in LA, it seems like they are planning on at least some audience, but that's obviously subject to change, especially with everything changing, minute by minute with this stuff.
Absolutely. And as an agent, has any of your clients, have they reached out to you and had any specific questions related to COVID or how it's going to impact the season or impact them personally?
Yeah, I mean, if a season were to not get played, the big question is, do we get paid? So that's the big question for all the clients, and especially the rookies who typically would have already been in mini camp, would have already gone through the off-season program. They're a little bit behind in that regard. So they have a lot of questions, but the veterans pretty much know if we can get back into training camp on time, which is usually the end of July anyway, that things will go on as planned. But they're mostly concerned, about their safety, but also their paychecks.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of Americans can relate to that right now. All very concerned with our paychecks.
Yes.
So assuming there will actually be a season, what are you most looking forward to this season?
Well, I had my first personal draft pick this draft, so I'm excited to go see him play. He was drafted by the Chargers, so it'll be super fun to go to the new stadium out there. But selfishly, I'm in Vegas. I've been watching the stadium from the start get built. I am so excited to see a game played there. My dad actually lives walking distance from it, so I'm excited to take him to a game and to not have to travel every weekend to games like I normally do, because now we have a stadium in our backyard.
So you guys are going to be Raiders fans then?
I wouldn't take it that far. My company has season tickets, and when we have clients play here, we'll get tickets from them. So I will be at a lot of games, and it'll be good for the city for the Raiders to be good. So to that extent, yes, Raiders fans.
Of course. And I have to go back and ask you. Oh, there we go. I have to go back and ask you about your first official client this year. I know you mentioned went to the Chargers. I think as a UCLA fan, went to UCLA. This is going to be someone that I'm really excited to watch as well.
Yeah, if you're a UCLA fan, you know who Joshua Kelly is, and he's the most phenomenal kid out there. I actually have another client, John LeGlue, who's on the Packers right now. So he was actually my first active client last year, but he went undrafted. Super proud of him as well for all of his hard work. But yeah, Josh getting drafted to the Chargers in his hometown, the whole story was just super serendipitous and incredible.
Right. Well, that's good. It's good to see that COVID didn't rain on his parade or affect anything for him. But
Nothing right. Josh's parade.
I know, right? Like probably the most positive athlete I've seen. Maybe Jonathan Franklin, but from UCLA, yes, very positive.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Molly. You're a wealth of knowledge. We really appreciate you coming on, and we're looking forward to hopefully an NFL season.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.